right, we're back again. This is Chad.
And this is Sean.
Now, what if I wanted to add a new functionality to a Drupal website? What would you call that?
Maybe adding a module.
Yeah, module. Now, modules, but that's kind of like the space station. When they add something new, they add a module. And they usually provide new functionality with the space station. It usually provides more room and things like that. So, I mean, I'm guessing that's where they got it from. Maybe. I don't know. But probably not from the space station. I don't.
Probably not, Chad. But that's a good guess. I mean,
thanks,
kudos.
Sean, for backing me up there. I thought that was a pretty good. I mean,
you know, that's creative. I applaud your creativeness.
Space station. I'm going out there. I'm really.
Yeah, you're going out there. Space.
Well, this is basically what we're talking about.
That's basically what we're doing.
We're adding new functionality to the site. So we're going to add a module, and I like this module. This is the very first module I install on every site.
It is definitely highly recommended, and there's a couple different kinds, but this is the one that we've used for every installation that we've done, and every site that I've run, we've used this module.
Sounds like we're keeping a secret here. It's really not. It's not. It's the admin module.
You told them. Yes.
They have to know sooner or later. All right. So go over to drupalmodules.com. Now, education point, another one. Drupal.org is the official Drupal site. Drupal.org. Drupalmodules.com is a guy that has become very wealthy because he made this site, but he's just a user like you and I. And he made this site. It's a very cool site, much more organized than Drupal.org. And there's a lot of useful things at Drupal.org, but if you want a module, this is the place to go. And you can search. You've got title, body. You can do all this fancy stuff, advanced search stuff. But I like to use their simple search. So just type in here, administration menu. Now, we're not looking for the administration menu drop down. Go down a little farther, administration menu, click in that. If you scroll down, you can download different versions. We probably, at this point, should explain versions real quick. You have version 4. For example, you can see 4.7 right there. That is not officially supported because Drupal only supports 2 versions at any given time. So like 4.7 is totally obsolete. 5X or 5 whatever version, that stands for the previous version, which Drupal got a lot better, but it wasn't really until 6 that it really broke away from the pack and did some cool stuff. But 6 is the latest version. Now 7 is the beta version that's about to come out. Now 7 is really a big step forward also. But so with that said, version 5 is not going to run on version 6.
No.
Have you tried that?
I have not tried. I have tried running under version, a 5 version of something on my Drupal, and it kicks it out.
Yeah, it doesn't even recognize it as a folder. So you're not going to do any damage if you get the wrong one, but you're also not going to make any progress.
But if you do download something and you find out later that it's not working, you might want to check back and make sure you got the right version, because I have done that on accident before.
Yeah. And so one more thing before we click the right version. Of course, we're running version 6.17 or later. So it'd be under 6X right there. And notice here that it says development. These are 3 or 4 here that are under development, so you don't want those. And then you have your alphas. And the alphas are almost ready to release. You notice this says 1.5. Well, they're working on 3.0 right now. And once it makes it to the full release, which I believe they go alpha, beta, and then they release it. So it won't become an official release until later. So if you wanted to experiment with this, if you became a developer and you wanted to do this, this is where you would head to. But I only tell you that so you don't accidentally hit one of these and try to do something that's a little crazy and you don't know why it's not working. So click on the download. It's going to download a tar.gz file. So we're going to save that file. Once you've got that downloaded, go back over to your cPanel. You might have that up. If not, navigate to it, log in, get into it, and we're going to go down to File Manager. This is really cool because Sean and I both have always used, up until recently, FileZilla or FTP,
Fire FTP.
Yeah, Fire FTP, and external and stuff. And then, so we download the file, uncompress it, upload it, and all that good stuff. But you don't even have to do that. You can go directly to cPanel and use their file manager. Now, do you ever use the file manager, or are you still using the stuff we just mentioned?
The stuff we just mentioned.
Oh, so you haven't. So I know something that that you don't know. Wow. I'm impressed with myself. This doesn't happen very often.
No.
Wow. Okay.
But this way that Chad is about to show you is a lot easier. It's a lot simpler. Because you're not having to go and set up an external FTP client or fire FTP, and it will unpack everything for you and
because we're all about
it needs to be.
Because we're all about simple here.
We're all about simple.
We're all about simple. So go ahead and open that. Which one do you want to do? Just click down and make sure you've got your. In my case, it's richwindowcleaner.com. Whatever .com you have. Document roots 4. Push go. The files on your server. Now, Sean, do you know what FTP stands for?
I do, Chad. I do, but I bet you don't.
Don't turn it back. I ask the questions, you answer them. That's the way it works around here.
FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol.
File Transfer Protocol. So that's the way that your laptop or whatever talks to the servers on the other end. Simply put.
Yes.
Simply put, yeah. So file transfer protocol. I'm impressed with the amount of knowledge we have in store here.
Yeah.
See, we spare no amount of money to bring in the best when it comes to terms like this. All right, so you'll notice on the right-hand side, we are, if you want to know where we're located here, just to kind of give you a bearings of where we're at, left-hand side here is the structure of your files. You've got the etc folder, the mail folder, the public FTP, the public HTML, the temporary, and the www. For whatever reason, and somebody please explain this to me, www and public HTML do the exact same thing. You can drop a file in public HTML and guess what? It's going to show up in www. And you could do the same. You could put it in www and it's going to show up in public HTML. I have no idea.
I have no idea. But this is why we choose to use Drupal and why we choose to use and hosting and cPanel, just because it's so much easier for us. It does the work for us.
That's true. I mean, it does. Maybe that's how I should view this, is that it's doing the work for me. Yes. It's keeping them synced automatically. I don't know. But so don't get too concerned. We're going to use the public HTML. Okay. So this is where we're going to put our stuff. Notice under richwindowcleaner.com is actually where all these folders and files are. So to kind of give you the overview of where you're at, you're in this folder, you're in public HTML or www, either one is the exact same, and then you're under the richwindowcleaner.com. These are the folders that we're going to be working with right now. Now, to set this up, we need to go into Sites, and we need to go into All. We're going to make an adjustment here because we don't have anything that we need inside of All.
There's 3 things we need into All. We need to put in, right here on the left-hand side, you'll see New Files, and you'll see New Folder. You'll want to click on New Folder and create a folder. And you want to name this Themes, lowercase t, and it needs to be plural. The spelling is very crucial. These need to be spelled exactly like the dictionary would spell them. Next thing we need to do is Module, which can be a little bit of a tricky word. But it's spelt out there for you. All right, so now you have modules, and you're going to add one last one, libraries. Now these are where you're going to add in the themes that you're going to add to it, the modules that you're going to add, and libraries does a little bit something different that we'll get to in a much later series. But if you go back up into your right under your richwindowcleaner.com or whatever you have .com, you'll notice that you have a themes file there and a modules file already. Here's the deal. We want to leave those alone. If you ever update your Drupal, it's going to update and clean out those files, those folders. So you want to make sure that we're going to put them in the sites that's going to be left alone. So that way when you update, you're not losing everything that you've done to this point.
Yeah, when we update, it ends up every folder but the sites everything else is replaced and updated. So that's why it's so important to do the sites, and then we'll put it in the all and those three. And this is the only thing that you won't overwrite when you update your folders and stuff like that. So yeah, that is pretty important.
Yes.
Plus, when you go to update, sometimes it's kind of hard. Have you ever put a module in the modules folder?
Have.
Yeah, me too. I've put it in here, and it does work.
It will work.
But then when I go to update it, I usually put it in the sites all, and I forget, and then it freaks out your Drupal site. I've had it crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is pretty important thing Sean's going over here.
So learn from our mistakes. Make these 3 folders. They'll pick up just like it would if you had them in the other module or theme folder also. Right.
Yeah, and if you get a chance, go into modules. This is the core modules right here, but the ones we're working with is the ones we're adding. So we're going to go inside here, and then we're going to upload. We're going to hit the upload button. Now, do you remember that module that we downloaded, administration menu? I downloaded in the download folders on Windows 7, but yours could be desktop or wherever it's at. So I'm going to go to downloads, and it's right there. And now remember, it's a tar.gz. We're going to open it. It's going to start uploading it, and it's complete. We don't have any other upload boxes or anything like that. So we're going to close this. We're going to go back, not close. So here we go. We went back, and notice this is the only thing in our modules folder. So we can right click at this, and we can push extract. Now let me explain real quick. tar.gz is a compressed file which will not work on the folder. The server cannot recognize a tar.gz, so we're going to right click, we're going to extract it. Do you want to extract it right here into the all modules? Yes, I do. Extract files. It does a little number there, and then you can push close, and now you have a folder. It's admin menu. Click this and go up here, and we can now delete it, or you can hang on to it if you want to, but I delete this stuff to get rid of it. Now we have this nice little folder right here. Let's see if Drupal recognizes it. So now we've got our Drupal site. Go to whatever.com you have, and then go to site building on the left-hand side. Go to modules. Scroll down. Now this is a list of all the modules you have available. Notice the very first one is administration menu. We'll come back to that just a second. You can set up a blog feature to your site. You can set up a contact page right there to your site, and we're going to specifically talk about that here pretty quick. And then you can go down. There's a poll and different things. I'm just highlighting some of the more popular things right now. But it's a very, very basic site. This is like when we build a site, this is like 1/10 the size of what we build. We have all kinds of modules in there that we use. So hundreds, it could be in there. And so we're going to click the administration menu, check that, scroll all the way to the bottom, save configurations. Now, this is the way a Drupal site, in my opinion, should look. I mean, I can hardly navigate without administration menu.
This makes it so much easier. Now, the menu on your left-hand side, you'll hardly ever use now. You'll use this top bar that Chad's playing around with right now. And it makes it a lot easier to get around your site and to do a lot of different things.
So now you've installed your first module. We'll go into different aspects of this, and you'll get to know administration menu a little bit better, but now you can install any module you want. You are the all-powerful, all-knowing, not yet knowing, but you are definitely all-powerful web administrator. You can put anything you want on there now.
It's at your fingertips. You see where we get them from. There's millions of them out there that do all different things. They're free, and whatever you want to do, you can find a module just about.
There you have it. Let's move on.